Happy Monday, and we're here again. This morning is going to be a short one. I have a jasmine tea. We have to leave the house in about 15 minutes. So I got 10 minutes. 10 minutes to have a chat, and then I must go. See, even with 10 minutes, I was almost convincing myself to push the button, or not even push the button, to not set up and go and do it later, because it is quite dark, and sometimes this cinematic view doesn't work if there's not enough light. I was almost prepared to go get my ring light so that I can set it up behind. I feel like that's what I'm going to need to do for my Tuesday morning sessions. But now I'm thinking, I just remembered I can actually film those at the gym. So let's see. Got my late night call tonight with the agency. And yeah, things are moving, things are grooving. We're almost at the end of July. How did that happen? I feel like years they do. They just start to speed up. And I think this is when it becomes really important to find ways to work with the annual calendars and to work in longer form brackets of times and goals. And yeah, it's so easy for the years to disappear. Hey, it's so easy for the years to disappear. And then you look up and you're like, oh, shoulda, woulda, coulda. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. Still haven't finished that painting. Now it's starting to get annoying because my original deadline was to send it before her business conference, and then as soon as I realized that that wasn't going to be possible, just down to the nature of I didn't want to rush it. I would rather finish it properly than rush it. But now it's been moved into the too difficult box. And now it's end of July, and I wanted this shipped at the beginning of July. So I think this is also one of the interesting things as well when you start working for yourself, all right? Like learning these ways that you do this with your stuff and learning to build it into the business side. Like I'm not even a full-time artist in that sense in terms of being paid to create and produce artwork. But there's something, again, the order of everything is be, do, have, right? So you have to become the person that does it professionally or does it for a living in order to be paid to do it for a living. And so finding that time to work on your craft, to put an extra paintbrush onto the canvas. Again, it doesn't matter, especially at the beginning. It doesn't matter how long that initial stuff starts to take to get off. And the best part about even building creative stuff and even building as an artist, you still get to turn everything that you create into digital assets. You still get to have fun with the way that you actually deploy your artwork, whether that's on stickers, whether that's on prints, whether that's on ACEOs, whether that's on, again, have you seen these people now back to snail mail clubs? These artists, these writers, these poets, these absolutely incredibly creative people online have been creating snail mail clubs where subscribers pay to receive in the mail, physical mail, a piece of artwork each month. A little piece of handcrafted artwork, a note from something, a couple of stickers. Like, it's an actual subscription model of artist collectibles. That's happening now. That's happening now. I think I definitely think we like to overcomplicate. We also like to very quickly overlook thinking things will always work out for us the way that we want to work them to work out. I think it's very easy to always go, like, I kind of want to do this, but I really want to do this, but this seems like it's more kosher, so I should do this. I think this is maybe why people get frustrated wanting to do things in different areas and different arenas, but why actually it might be one of the cleverer things you can do, especially nowadays. Because again, this whole thing, like going all in on one thing, like even this coaching business, like even my clients, even my consulting and my coaching clients, like I don't want to just be a coach. I don't want to just be a coach because I'm not just a coach. Like I am also an artist. I am also a this, and it's like, yes, you know, get something moving, get something off the ground. I just genuinely think if you have the foresight to be patient enough and to see what it is that you're building and to disconnect from playing anybody else's game. And again, finding your base salary to support survival needs and ideally a little bit of play money for building your creative stuff. Because that's also the bit that sucks when you're creating and when you're trying to be creative and abundant and giving and all of that, when you are in like at your wits end in terms of your survival financial state. Like it's very hard to be generous when you're broke. And I think this is that where we need to draw a fine line in the fact that this like starving artist should not be a narrative anymore, because there are more and more people waking up to even art collectibles or even wanting to start delving into purchasing art. And I mean, I know I'm going very heavy on the art stuff at the moment with this, but even just watching a friend of mine, you know, go and get her stuff in a gallery recently and sell paintings and meet people and have that opportunity to turn her work into prints and be in front of people and to sell a couple of pieces and to see it's possible. It's like even she'd said in her post, you know, this isn't groundbreaking stuff. This isn't, I'm quitting my job tomorrow because I've done it one time and now I've suddenly made all this millions of dollars. But going through the process of, I am an artist. I create. I present. I invite. I tell people. I promote my work. Like it's all these pieces of the puzzle. If you want to be making a living off of the things that you enjoy doing, there has to be that connection for people to pay you and find out about you and learn about your stuff. No one's going to do that part for you. It's very interesting. Anyway, we've got a big rainy Monday out here today. I've got a couple of clients at the gym this morning, and then I'm catching up with a girlfriend of mine for some breakfast who helped me with one of my other clients' websites, which is awesome. And then, yeah, I'm coming back, and I have allocated a chunk of time this afternoon to dig into that painting, which is really nice. I kind of cleared some of the decks yesterday with some other client work. I don't usually enjoy doing too much work on a Sunday, but considering it was such a rainy day, and I wasn't in the frame of mind to go and sit in the back room and do that painting, because that's also the thing, you know, sometimes you allocate days to do your stuff, and when the day arrives, you don't feel like doing your stuff. And I understand that there's this whole, you know, oh, discipline over this, and you got to show it for yourself even if you don't feel like it, and da 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 da. And it's like, yes, and yes and no. Like, if it's really not going, and especially in those beginning phases, because I feel like that's where you can very quickly get into nasty creating habits, or I guess that grind hustle version of creating. And also, I don't know, sometimes when you're in that mood and then you go to create when you don't feel like creating and then you're creating crap, it's easier sometimes to get caught in a nasty spiral down for a little bit or even a couple of days where you then stop or fall off or, you know, go even worse than it is to just give yourself grace and go, okay, fine, today we're not painting, but then when's the next time to allocate it? Like, when are we putting in that block? When are we finding the next time? Instead of just going, no, and waiting for the next one and realizing that that's the pattern that creeps up, that you always end up getting to that block of time and don't feel like creating. Well, then how can you make sure that in the lead up to that block of time you are getting yourself in the best possible prime state to create? And then when you're going and sitting down, if on the day that's then not coming through, either do something fun with that time or do something different or get something else done so that you can move another block. Like I said, like rearrange those blocks so that you do fit it in. Find ways to fit it in. It really is. It's always your stuff. It's always the things you want to do. It's always the things that, you know, I want to do that I never have time. No, you always allow yourself to push it down the line. And you can only kick those cans down the line so far until suddenly you're going to walk upon them one day and it's going to be a wall full of cans of things that you shoulda, woulda, coulda, you know, and then things that maybe completely are off the table right now, or things that, you know, if you would have started, then you would have. And again, if, then, but what? Like, I think this fear of being behind, of being too late, of being like not getting to a point where you're starting, like it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I don't care what industry you're in. You can create a new version of anything. Even if it's already been done, you can create your version of anything. If it means that much to you, your version will have enough of the differentiators to make it make something. And if you can see enough of a problem and you're passionate enough about it, and that's what you want to pursue, go do it. Go do it. All right, this is your Motivational Monday talk from me. I do have to go. I'm just getting comfortable. I'm ready to sit and have a chat for ages, but I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.